Okay, hello and welcome to my little kit review of this 72nd scale Fujimi RF-4C. This is they call the Shogun boxed edition. Fujimi did a number of boxings of RFs and different variants. There are also some you can get that have multiple variants within the same box if you're lucky enough to find one of them. So I've recently purchased this second hand. Been after an RF for my collection for a while, and this isn't a bad representation shape wise of the aircraft. So there we go. On the box suggests we are going to get some different schemes. So we're going to go with the three green European one and the standard sort of Southeast Asia 2 greens and a tan in the box. There we go, it's G14 is this model, and there's the other variants. If you're lucky enough to find these kits out and about, I think the most difficult one, the one I've never seen readily available to purchase, is the RF-4B in this scale. So there we go. What do you get in the box? So let's put the box on the side for a second. Right, so Fujimi instructions. Shows the age of this. There's a bit of a rust spot come through from the staple inside the box. It's so old. It is probably 30. It's got to be a good 30 years old. May even be back into the 1980s, this kit. So it is fairly rudimentary when it comes to the cockpit. No raised panel detail. It is all decals. So you paint it, whack the decals on. The seats are just literally a seat shaped mold, stick the ejector seat handles on, job done. Instructions look fairly straightforward. It is a multiple piece cockpit, so you can have it open or close, whichever you prefer. The paint call outs are Mr. Hobby, I'd imagine, looking at that. H numbers, and there we go. All looks fairly simple. Drop tanks. It shows sidewinders on there as well. I don't often remember seeing RFs with sidewinders, but I'm sure that I can be proved wrong there. The sprue layouts are marked here with actual names for each of the component parts, which is actually a little bit different. And it suggests here in the part list that it also comes with an ALQ 119 jammer. So we'll see if we can find that in a second. So it's markings for 5 aircraft, of which 4 of them, no. Well, a number of them, looking at this, yeah, so it looks like 4 of them are in the 3 greens European 1 scheme, and then there's the standard Southeast Asia green and tan. There's also a version of that as well, with some interesting looking markings. Right, so put that to one side. So here's the plastic bits then. So let's fight these out of the little bag. So the sort of fairly soft plastic bags they come in. Oh, fight them out. All right, so see what we're getting. So see that well. Clear parts. Well, they're definitely clear. There's a little bit of yeah, you put your finger on it, it does magnify it a little bit. So definitely not up to modern standards, but yeah, nice and clean. Second little clear parts, obviously for the camera lenses or camera covers, and as we said, ALQ 119 jamming pod there. It looks a tad short, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, it's not too bad. Right, and here we go. Let's try and get on the detail here. So as you can see, it's, you know, for the age of the kit, it's actually really sharp. You know, the detail there, it's all you know, really nicely engraved panel lines. There's a few raised, you know, this has got raised panel lines, but this underwing section there is all nicely engraved. There's the old washing line there to go on the spine of the aircraft, if you so choose. Right, so next sprue. Right, so here we go. As I said, the cockpit area is sparse, and I'm sure with a bit of painting, a bit of weathering, and maybe some resin seats would probably would, you know, make this look a little bit more appealing. But yeah, hardly any flash. You know, literally just rub it off there. Really nicely moulded, nice and crisp. Nothing to complain about there really. Some bulkheads. We've got some tanks. So 2 wing tanks, 1 centerline tank, some hard points, ejection racks there for missiles, and 2 little, well, 4 I should say, sidewinder shaped missiles. I'm not sure which variant they're accurate they are, but definitely a representation of a sidewinder. Right. Okay, and here we have the main body. So okay, they are slightly different. So, you know, really nicely molded, hardly any flash at all. You know, the ejection points, that's sort of where you expect. You know, that's probably the more difficult one just there, where you've obviously going to try and sand between 2 aerials on the top. You know, the likelihood is you're going to probably chop these aerials off and reposition them after you've sorted out the join line down the spine. But yeah, you got the exhaust buckets there, really nicely detailed. Inside, it's a bit of representation. You know, this is, you got to remember, this is not the latest, you know, tooling technology. Again, nicely engraved. That's the all engraved panel lines there. Some are engraved and some are raised, so it's a bit of a mixture. But in this scale, I'm sure it'll be fine. Again, all these are all engraved panel lines, and this is a mixture of engraved and raised. And that's, you know, that's really nice. It looks like an F4. Right, so final bag, top of the wings. So yeah, so it's got a little bit of a raise there to indicate that this is for the wider wheel version. So this is the slightly thicker wing variant. Little bit of flash in there, nothing too difficult to deal with. You know, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but a number of kits of this period had the same way of doing the gear doors. So it means you've got to chop the gear doors up to position them if you want the gear down. But other than that, it's all fine. Wheels are a reasonable representation. They're not weighted, but they look fine. And then we go on to the decals. Now I'll leave the decals. I'll take the decals out. Yeah, I'll take the decals out. So, yeah, nice and thin. These are, you know, 20 odd year old decals. Well, more than that, 30-year decals actually. That look pretty good. Yeah, quite good colour registry on them. Yeah, very nice and thin. The actual cockpit detail there is pretty average. So I'm sure if you've got another kit, you might want to consider using those decals. There's not exactly much in the way of detail on the cockpit instruments there, but you know, stick the canopy down, stick a pilot in, you know, you'll never notice the difference. But yeah, They look pretty good, to be honest. You know, there's a bit of carrier film there, but you know, decal technology is also something that's come on in the last 20 years. But no, all in all, I would highly recommend this kit as a great representation of a 1/72nd f4 kit. So if you're in the market for one, I'm sure you'll find one on eBay or similar sites, and it'll give you plenty of entertainment. Thanks for watching, and keep enjoying your modelling.